Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Hopeful Chewbacca back at the Church of Chewbacca, and today we're going to give in-depth, true reviews of the brand new West Division All-Stars that came out for the Hut All-Stars event. We're going to rate them 1 through 5 Chewies, as well as go over each and every attribute, and I'm also going to tell you which out of the 2 cards that each of these players have is the better version to go after. But once again, as mentioned with the North Division, go get the card that has the synergies that match what you need for your team. I'm just giving you, based on comparing the 2 cards side by side, if you had wide open synergies, which card would be better, and it's mostly based off of their player synergies, because obviously they all have a team synergy that's 2 points. So like if you need barrage, you need balance, or you need distributor, you need spark, go after the guy that has that. I'm just giving you that side-by-side comparison so you know which one to get based off of their player synergies. That's all. Let's get into it. Real quick before we get into the Chewy reviews here, I'm going to show you where you can complete it in the sets for any of these 6 cards that came out for the West Division. They're the same place that the North Division sets are at, but let me show you real quick. You're going to go to the Exchange tab, into the Sets tile. You're going to pop in here, then on the first set, then on the first tile here, you see Hut All-Star Sets. We're going to pop in here, and as you'll see, it'll be this tile right here, the West Division All-Star Winner Sets. You want to pop in here. You can get a random one for 17 gold collectibles. I believe it's 17 gold collectibles. Yes, 17 gold collectibles. And you can make each of the players for so many gold collectibles and their base card. So McKinnon is 22 gold collectibles plus the 86 overall base McKinnon. Then you have 11 gold collectibles for Pacharetti plus base Pacharetti. Then base Mikko Rantanen plus 15 gold collectibles. 9 gold collectibles in the base Torey Krug. 11 gold collectibles for Drew Doughty, and then 11 gold collectibles for Marc-Andre Fleury. Obviously, both those sets also need their base cards, just so you know, and you'll get both versions of that card based on what their overall is. So when you do this video, you won't even need to really look to see which version of the card is. You just have to know what their Chewy rating is overall, because you're just looking for the best bang for your buck. I'll let you guys know after we go over all 6 cards which one I think is worth the most for doing the sets, like which one is the most cost efficient. But I will say most of these cards are just cheaper to buy on the auction house. Marc-Andre Fleury. The former first overall pick of the Pittsburgh Penguins, Marc-Andre Fleury, now plays for the Vegas Golden Knights, and he was their big pickup whenever they did the expansion draft from the Pittsburgh Penguins. He led them on his back to a Stanley Cup Finals appearance in the first year that the Vegas Golden Knights were around, and they've been in the playoffs ever since, and he's been a cornerstone piece to their success since being an expansion franchise a couple years ago. This version of the card that I went with is the version with 2 balance, 1 barrage, and 1 spark. He does have a version that has 2 distributor, 1 heart and soul, and 1 swarm. The reason I picked this version rather than the distributor version is he had a blockbuster events card that was 94 overall that had 2 distributor, I believe. So why double up there? Let's go with the 2 balance here, 1 barrage, 1 spark. It is a 92 overall rather than a 94 overall, so the attributes are going to be a little bit less. He's coming in at about 125,000 coins. He's 6'2", 185 pounds, whereas his trapper on his left hand. For his attributes, he has 91 glove high, 90 stick high, 93 glove low, 93 stick low. His quickness is going to be 92 speed, 93 vision, 92 agility, then 94 positioning, 91 5-hole. Rebound control is 93, as well as the shot recovery is 93 with 80 aggression. I think every year that the Marc-Andre Fleury cards play very well. I might be slightly biased with Marc-Andre Fleury, as he's probably my favorite goaltender to ever play in the NHL, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, I love Martin Brodeur, Patrick Waugh, but I grew up whenever I was a teenager watching Marc-Andre Fleury play, and he's pretty much, I mean, he's 3 years older than I am, so I've watched him go from being a rookie and struggling a little bit throughout his whole career, getting no love whenever the Penguins didn't play defense for him, and then kind of revamping his career after the back-to-back Stanley Cups the Penguins won in the late 2010s. So it's just one of those things. You watch Marc-Andre Fleury, he's just an amazing goaltender to watch. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer when he finally retires. And honestly, he's just a fun guy. If you watch a lot of his hockey clips, he's always smiling. He's always having a good time. This is the version of the card that I went with, but I think either versions of them could be relatively good. The price is pretty decent at $325,000. I would hold off a little bit, though, because I think you can get his 93 overall blockbuster card for the same price, if not a little bit cheaper. He can also cost 11 gold collectibles. And for all of the cards, as you'll see right underneath this Marc-Andre Fleury, you've seen the price from the beginning of 325K and 11 gold collectibles. That's going to stay there for all of the cards, so you know what their price is how many gold collectibles it costs to do their set, at least from the time this video was made, which is the day these cards came out, March 29th. Obviously, the price will probably drop from there, but just so you guys know what a fair market value is, and the average market value price was when the cards were released. For as much as I love Marc-Andre Fleury, I'm going to give this card 4 chewies. I think he has pretty good synergies with the balance and the spark, as well as the barrage isn't too bad. However, I do think he's pretty hefty priced right now at 325K. If he does drop down into the low 200s, I think he becomes 4.5 chewies. I don't think you'll ever get 5 chewies because you can just get a better version of this card. 93 overall of the Marc-Andre Fleury if you want a higher attribute card. So he'll probably max out no matter what for me at 4.5 chewies. I do think that the 2 distributor card doesn't make him any better or any worse. So we'll stick with the 4 chewy rating. I think it's very fair for this Marc-Andre Fleury, especially at the price point that he is, slightly over 300,000 coins. Drew Doughty. The Drew Doughty here really just looks like a souped up version of his franchise great card, the 90 and 91 overall version, not the one that came out recently that was the 94-95 upgrade. I don't think that card was worth upgrading to. That card is obviously slightly better than this card is. However, looking at Doughty, 6'1", 202 pounds, right-handed shooting. He's obviously a defenseman. He won the vote for the top right defenseman for the West Division. He has 2 points for Swarm, 1 point for Gladiator, 1 point for Workhorse. If anybody knows that franchise great card, it's 1 point for Swarm, 1 point for Gladiator, I believe. So this is just an upgraded version. Plus, they throw in Workhorse on this version of the card. We're choosing this version because the other version has Barrage for 2 points, Shutdown, and Magician. I think this version is a little bit better. The Workhorse for the Doughty is very clutch because it gives you acceleration, balance, endurance, and durability, which allows you to max his endurance. But on top of it, he gets with a 92 acceleration, which means he can max at 96 acceleration with the Workhorse and Spark. Looking at his speed, he can get up to 92 speed, which I think is pretty decent for a defenseman, especially a right-handed version of him. The Swarm gives you agility, hand-eye, defense awareness, and stick checking. Now, if you do have Swarm activated on your team, the Doughty can get up to 98 agility. He'll max defense awareness and stick checking, and his hand-eye gets up to 93. The Gladiator, if anyone is curious, gives you slap shot power, body checking, strength, and defense awareness as well. So you do have Swarm and Gladiator. You're only going to get 3 points for the defensive awareness because they kind of overlap. But no matter what, they will be maxed. So even without Swarm activated on this Doughty, if you do have the Gladiator, he will still max his defensive awareness, which I think is huge on this card. The player synergies he has are just much better than the Shutdown and Magician for the other card. And I do think Swarm's a better synergy than Barrage. That's why I chose this version. He's about 330,000 coins. The one on the market right now is 350,000 starting price, but whenever I was looking a little bit earlier doing some research, he did have a couple buy nows for about 328,000 to 345,000. So I do think you'll be able to get him in about 330,000 starting off right now, and 11 gold collectibles just like the Marc-Andre Fleury. Looking at his attributes with no synergies, he has 89 acceleration, 94 agility, 91 balance, 97 endurance, 89 speed. Then his shooting is 88 slap shot accuracy, 89 wrist shot accuracy with 94 slap shot power, 93 wrist shot power. His hands are 91 deking, 94 offensive awareness, 89 hand-eye, 97 passing, and 96 puck control. Body checking is going to be 88. Strength is 91. The checking category is going to be 96 defense awareness, 94 shot blocking, and 95 stick checking, as well as 83 discipline. 58 face-offs. Doesn't matter. He'll never take a face-off in his life as he's a defenseman. What I will say about this Doughty is I do think his attributes are great. I thought that franchise great card played pretty decent and well above his attributes, to be honest. He's great size at 6'1", 202 pounds. Makes him very solid. He reminds me a lot of Chris Letang. They skate pretty much the same. The only difference, if you actually compare them side by side, I think, when they're skating, is that Letang has a 5 on the back of his jersey and Doughty only has an 8 because, you know, Letang wears 58. Either way, I think that this is a great skating card. I think he can be very good. However, I'm going to have to give him 4 chewies as well, because it's just kind of the same card that his franchise great is, just a little bit of a bump up. In that franchise great's only selling for about 150,000 coins, maybe a little bit less now, and that's just great value. And you're only paying for a +1 overall bump, and it's really not that significant. Now, having the Workhorse is huge, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to keep it at 4 chewies because you can get a very comparable card for a much less price. That's what's holding his chewy rating back a little bit. Overall, on just his attributes, I'd say he's more towards the 4.5, 5 chewies. But because of what else you can get in the game in different versions of the Drew Doughty, I'm going to go with the 4 chewies. Torey Krug. The former Boston Bruin who went over to the St. Louis Blues in free agency this offseason, Torey Krug, 5'9", 186 pounds, left-handed shooting, and he won the vote for left defense in the West Division. I don't know if he would have won left defense in the East Division that he would normally played in with the Boston Bruins, so I think it's kind of good he shifted over to get this All-Star voted card. Not that that's the reason he signed with the Blues, it was because the Bruins didn't want to pony up and pay the man. However, I picked the version of him that has 2 balance, 1 gladiator, 1 speedster, compared to the 2 distributor, workhorse, and shutdown. Now, I do think both versions of the cards are terrific. I just think that speed's more important than acceleration. That's really what I base it off of. Even though distributor is a better team synergy, and there's not too many defensemen with 2 distributor for synergy, there's also not too many defensemen with 2 balance for a team synergy either. There's guys like Niedermeyer and Chelios, but if you wanted to get a third guy on defense for balance, Krug would probably be the next best guy. The reason I did that is because of the speedster for the +4 speed. It's very hard to find. And as you guys know, if you have the Scott Niedermeyer silver icon at all, how important that extra speed is. That means he can get up to 96 speed with distributor and speedster. Also, the gladiator does factor in here, which will give you body checking, strength, defensive awareness, and slap shot power. The balance of the synergy is kind of a little bit all over the place, gives you a little bit of everything, which gives you the endurance, wrist shot power, deking, puck control, as well as defensive awareness at +3. The reason I chose this compared to the other Krug that has the workhorse that will give you the +3 acceleration, I figured that 96 speed was more important than 96 acceleration, especially because the acceleration you can still get up to 93 with Spark. However, you could only get the speed up to 92 with distributor if you don't have the speedster activated. Therefore, I went with just a slightly better player synergies in my opinion, even though you're giving up a little bit of team synergies. Either way, I think both cards are pretty much equal. I just like this version of Krug a little bit better. Looking at his attributes with no synergies activated, he has 89 acceleration, 93 agility, 88 balance, 94 endurance with 89 speed. So great skating. The high 80s is very important. You add speedster onto that, as I mentioned, 96 speed. That's going to be a very fast defenseman, and he's going to be very smooth skating at his height and weight proportion. The fact that he's a smaller defenseman, I think you want a guy that skates really well. Looking at his shooting, he has 89 slap shot accuracy, 94 slap shot power, 90 wrist shot accuracy with 92 wrist shot power. So pretty good shot, especially for a 90 overall defenseman. His hands are very good other than his hand-eyes 89. For the rest of the hands, he has 94 deking, 95 offensive awareness, passing, and puck control. He's going to get up to 98 passing and puck control with distributor, so that's very big, almost maxed on the hands and puck control. His body checking is 85, strength 89. Checking category, 94 defensive awareness, 91 shot blocking, 92 stick checking with 87 discipline. So once again, another guy that has very good defensive awareness and stick checking, as well as a good shot block. The discipline's a little bit low compared to those other attributes, but overall, I think it's pretty good. I'm going to give this Torey Krug 4.5 Chewies, and the reason I'm doing that is because of the simple fact that you can make his gold set for 9 gold collectibles. So he's a little bit more reasonable to make when it comes to players, and I think that he's actually kind of worth the 9 gold collectibles if you get them from playing. Like if you wanted to use your weekly awards from squad battles and from rivals to build a guy, Torey Krug might be that guy for this week. And then obviously you're going to have to spend about 150,000 to 200,000 coins to make up the rest of the gold collectibles, depending on what you do gold player wise and how good your packs are. However, I do think that Krug's 4.5 Chewies based on his attributes. He's very smooth skating, and there's just not really another great version of him. On top of him being a left-handed defenseman, having that speedster and balance is huge. The other version of him, too, with the distributor and workhorse is also a very good combination. So I think his price is actually kind of worth what you're getting, even though he's a little bit lower overall than Doughty is. That's why I'm going with the 4.5 Chewies. I just kind of think that's where he falls into the categories of defenseman. Mikko Rantanen. The 6'4", 215-pound left-handed shooting Rantanen has been on an absolute tear this season in the NHL. I think he at one point was leading the NHL in goals. I think he's still in the top 3 in goals. I think McDavid's actually number 1 if I'm not mistaken. The reason we picked the Spark version here is I think it's a much better team synergy than balance is. On top of the workhorse allows you to get that acceleration, balance, endurance, and durability up to +3, which means with Spark you can get to 95 acceleration. He'll max at 91 speed, which isn't the fastest, but no matter which card you use, he's getting only 91 speed. But for a big-bodied 6'4", 215-pound power forward, even though he's labeled as a sniper, he plays like a power forward because of his skating and because of how hard he is on the puck. I would say that he's more a power forward in this game than a sniper, even though in real life he definitely plays more like a sniper. Those are big-time attributes. On top of the Magician gives you agility, deking, and puck control, which allows you to max all 3 of those categories with the +4. Looking at this card with no synergies, he has 88 acceleration, 95 agility, 93 balance, 95 endurance with 88 speed. His shooting is 96 for slap shot accuracy and slap shot power, 97 wrist shot accuracy, 95 wrist shot power. His hands are 97 plus. 97 deking, hand-eye, and passing, 98 for offensive awareness and puck control. Great hands for a big guy. 89 body checking is a little bit disappointing with 93 strength. With the balance, strength, and puck control at 93, 93, and 98 respectively, I think that he's going to be very hard to get off the puck. On top of his wicked shot, he's going to be a phenomenal goal scorer. He gets in the right spots. He can probably play in front of the net, clog it up, as well as deflect pucks, score garbage goals. I really like the way this Rantanen is looking offensively. For his checking, 94 defense awareness, 90 shot blocking, 96 checking with 88 discipline, 70 faceoffs, but he is a winger, so we don't expect him to play in the faceoff circle anyways. You can play him on right or left wing at anywhere in your lineup, either top 6, bottom 6, penalty kill, power play, extra skater, shootout, it doesn't matter. Mikko Rantanen can fit in your lineup however you want him to fit in your lineup. He's going, though, for about 600,000 coins or 15 gold collectibles, so his price is a little bit expensive. Another guy that I actually think at the 15 gold collectibles, I think you're getting him at a pretty decent price compared to some other 94 overalls that had to be made in different events. I'm going to give this Rantanen 5 chewies. I think for a big body, even though his speed can only get up to 91, I just think that he's going to play great. He's going to be like a left-handed version of the Blake Wheeler that everybody wants that we just don't have yet. He's going to be comparable to Mario Lemieux, the bronze version of Mario Lemieux. I don't think he's quite equivalent to the silver version, as that Mario Lemieux plays way above what a 94 overall is on a silver version because of the howitzer. But if that Lemieux didn't have howitzer, this is what he would look like. He would look pretty similar to this Mikko Rantanen, and I think that comparison will hold relatively true. I do think Rantanen will tear it up. You just have to put him with guys that are a little bit faster at center and left wing if you're going to play him on the right wing as he is labeled. But I do think 5 chews is a fair rating for this Mikko Rantanen. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Max Pacioretty. Pacharetti's been pretty good for the Vegas Golden Knights since he came over last season from the Montreal Canadiens. He's 6'2", 215 pounds, left-handed shooting. He has a version that has 2 swarm, 1 howitzer, 1 magician that I think is a better version than his other version that has barrage, light the lamp, and wingman. And it's just pretty much because howitzer is an amazing player synergy. It will allow him to get up to 91 speed, 96 agility, as well as make his slap shot and wrist shot 98 overall for those attributes, and I just think that's very, very good. Looking at the swarm, we've already mentioned, gives you agility, defense awareness, stick checking, and hand-eye. The magician will bump up that agility as well. Looking at this card, he's going to have max 99 agility, even with just his 2 player synergies. That howitzer, though, allowing him to get that +3 in speed, means he can get up to 94 speed. He'll get up to 92 acceleration. So he's kind of the reverse of the Mikko Rantanen, where the Rantanen can get that higher acceleration but lesser speed. Pacharetti gets you higher speed but lesser acceleration. And they're about the same card after that, except Max Pacharetti is about half the price. So let's look at these attributes here. 88 acceleration, 93 agility, 92 balance, 92 endurance with 88 speed. His shot is 95 for slap shot power, wrist shot accuracy, wrist shot power, but 94 for slap shot accuracy. Then his hands are 93 for deking, passing, and puck control, 94 hand-eye, 95 offensive awareness. He has 90 body checking, 92 strength. Then he has 90 defense awareness, 85 shot blocking, 94 stick checking with 88 discipline. So they're about the same as that Mikko Rantanen we just went over. He's kind of like the poor man's Mikko Rantanen when you're comparing them side by side. However, he's about half the price at 350,000 coins, 11 gold collectibles. This Pacharetti, I'm going to give him 5 chewies as well. I think he's a phenomenal big-bodied player. He did win the left wing for the West Division, and I think it's fair with him and Rantanen, if you had them both on your wings, you would have 2 nasty lefties coming down either side of the wing, just ripping clappers, ripping wristers, setting each other up for big-time goals, and then also being the Bash brothers on the defensive end at their good size and pretty decent body checking. They could also back check and stick check with their good defense awareness and stick checking. I like both of the cards. Pacharetti is very deserving of 5 chewies, and I just think that's how it's going to have to go, especially with the howitzer. Nathan MacKinnon. There's 2 versions of Nathan MacKinnon. As you can see, he's kind of grayed out a little bit here because I can't find either of them on the auction house. I did find one a little bit earlier. He's selling for 800,000 coins by now. I'm sure that the price of this card is going to be well over $1 million, though. And the version you want to go with is the Spark, Light the Lamp, and Workhorse. He does have a Heart and Soul Thief and shutdown version. Now, if you want to go with him and Connor McDavid, if you have that 97 overall, 3 heart and soul Connor McDavid, you can get him and McKinnon and kind of start working towards heart and soul. I don't think it's worth it. I think this is the version you want to go to with the 2 spark, 1 light the lamp and 1 workhorse. The workhorse allows him to get up to 97 acceleration, which means he'll max at 99 acceleration with the spark. And I think that's just huge. On top of he'll have 97 speed. Let's look at the McKinnon with no synergies and just kind of go over the card. I think he's one of the best cards in the game so far. 94 acceleration, 99 agility, 93 balance, 97 endurance with 94 speed. So a phenomenal skater. His shooting is 96 slap shot accuracy with 98 wrist shot accuracy, 98 slap shot power, 97 wrist shot power. So one of the best shots. His hands are pretty much maxed with 99 across the board, other than his hand-eyes 98. Body checking's 90, 94 strength. Checking category, 97 defense awareness, 88 shot blocking, 98 stick checking, 80 faceoffs, 90 discipline. The only downside to McKinnon is the same downside you have to Connor McDavid, is he can't play center. He has to play in the wing. But overall, I'm going to go out on the limb here. I think this McKinnon is better than the Connor McDavid that came out, the 97 or 96 version. I think he has better synergies in those cards. And on top of that, I think he'll play better than either one of them. That's just my opinion. Slightly biased towards righties a little bit, but I actually think this Nathan MacKinnon is one of the best cards that have come out. I do think he is better than the 97 overall version that came out of Connor McDavid because of the synergies. I'm going to give him 5 chewies, but just like that Connor McDavid, like, can we get a 6 or 7 chewy rating out of 5? Both nasty cards. Nathan MacKinnon is the best card I think has come out so far in this Hut All-Stars event. And for right now, that's just my opinion that he's the best card that's come out in this event so far. Obviously, we have 2 more divisions that come out that'll come out Friday and the following Monday. That maybe there'll be a better version of a card, but this Nathan MacKinnon, easily 5 chewies. A great way to wrap up this video out of the 6 player reviews. That's going to wrap up these in-depth true reviews of the 6 West Division All-Stars that came out. Marc-Andre Fleury, Drew Doughty, Torey Krug, Mikko Rantanen, Max Pacioretty, and Nathan MacKinnon. I think McKinnon's the best card out of the 12 that have come out between the 2 divisions so far, even better than that Connor McDavid. I think Rantanen and Pacharetti are great snipers, even though they play more like power forwards, in my opinion. Then pretty good defensive pair with a goaltender that I love. I couldn't ask for a better 6 cards to come out in the West Division. I'm not sure these are all cards that I voted on. I don't think it is, because I was trying to avoid guys that already had event cards, so I don't think I voted for Doughty, Fleury, or McKinnon. However, I do like all 6 of these guys for sure, and I think they were great to come out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. As always, I appreciate all of your guys' support. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with any of your friends that play NHL 21. Also, hit that notification bell so whenever I'm uploading more videos. That way you get that notification, check out the video, learn something about the game, or just give me your opinion about how you think I'm a moron, because my reviews aren't as intelligent as what you think they should be or something. I don't know. It's just, it'd be great for you to watch the videos and then leave some comments. That's what we all want to see here. You guys have a great day and be safe.